what's up everybody? This is Scott, Triple S Drywall, doing it Southern style. Happy New Year first and foremost. Hadn't done a video in a little while. Wanted to show y'all something very unique to Houston or Texas in general. Never knew this until I moved here 5 years ago. I'm from New Orleans. First time I saw this texture, go ahead and show them. It's a 5-brush. So it's little bitty dots basically. And then you got to come back and knock it down. It's a very, very unique texture, one of which I never saw until I moved to Houston, and when I saw it I was scared, but I've figured it out since then. So this is what's called a 5-brush. It's 5 brushes, kind of like a horsehair brush in this direction. I made this one just with plywood, but you can buy it. Actually comes with a metal and a hook and all of that stuff. It's about $500, so I made one of these brushes at $20 a piece. So in this particular thing, if you look at the bristles, they're spaced out. So these guys, this house is probably 15 years old, so maybe 20. They would go through and they would cut these bristles all the way through here. It's very painstaking and it's a very difficult process to do to get that spread out. So what we did, rather than going through all that, now this wasn't easy either, but we made one with rubber bands. So we went through and basically dreaded it where you get these fingers. So I'm gonna show you, I'll give y'all a demonstration on how to match this texture. So I just got my 5-brush. I got a little piece of sheetrock here with some mud on it, as you can see. My easel, if you will. So we'll just pat it, get some good mud on there, and then I'll go one off so we don't have too much. And then it's just touching. As you can see, never knowing this texture or seeing this texture before, I was a little worried, but we figured it out. So you just go through, double stamp, like so, and you spread it out. So if you see you got some flat spots, that's the middle of the brush. So you want to kind of try and leave some flat spots if you're doing a single brush, give it the same appearance. So we'll just mix it up a little bit. It's not a serious pattern. They overlap the brush a lot. If you don't overlap it, you'll actually get kind of a square pattern on it. So I'm just kind of mixing it up, going back and forth in this particular texture. And we'll leave a little bit of flat spots here and there. Very, very unique texture to Texas. I don't know that it's done anywhere else. I know in Louisiana I'd never seen it until I got here. So we'll go through, and this was a real bad butt joint on the header. So we dug out the old tape, put some screws in it, put some fiber fuse tape on it, hot mudded it, put a real tight skim on it, let that set up long enough so I can get these edges sponged. If you're doing a repair like this, you need to make sure your edges are covered or not showing, because it'll be a dead giveaway for your final. Once you paint it, you'll be able to see the edges, so you got to be careful with that. All right. There it is. So this is knocked down, but when they did these houses, we're in Texas, it's hot, there's no air conditioning. So more than likely they had a few guys in here with a stamp with a big stick with the whole 5-brush as opposed to my little guy. And they probably do the whole ceiling and then they knock it down. So it is knocked down, but there are a few little high points. So that being said, we can't knock it down right now. We need to let it basically dry for about 10 or 15 minutes, let it tack up, and then we'll knock it down. So I'll cut the video and we'll be back here in a little bit and I'll show you how to knock it down. All right, so we're back. We let it set probably about 10 or 15 minutes because, as I said before, you can see in the texture, a lot of them didn't really knock down because, like I said, they'll do these jobs when it's hot and they won't wait to knock, they won't knock anything down until the whole room's done. So there's some areas that you still have, for lack of a better term, titties. But so these are dried up pretty good. So garage threshold, I'll do my other knockdown video we buy. It's just a piece of garage threshold. It's a real soft rubber, so it's real forgiving when you go to knock them down. So we're gonna drag it like so. Knock it all down. I keep a sponge. If you get trash collecting on there, knock that off. And there it is. So this mud will shrink up a little bit. It may look a little bit bigger than this, but once this mud dries and shrinks up, and we put a couple coats of paint on it, you will never see it. So there it is, file brush. Not a lot of people know about it. There's several other textures that you can do with the file brush, but this in particular one, I showed you how we do. I'll probably try and put a couple more videos out on the file brush because it's a very unique brush that's used for texture in Texas. So once again, Southern style, Happy New Year. Until next time.